In this section, we're going to learn a couple of things, including how to modify an existing page and how to add details object for one of the records. So we're starting with a page that has the list of organizations. And one of the things is when you're in design mode, there's actually on the top right an option to go into what we call live mode. Okay. So the live mode would actually make the page active in your design environment. And you can reach it also by clicking on Control in your keyboard or going into live mode like this. And then when you actually click on something, the page behaves like it is at runtime. So for example, this took us into the design for the edit page. So let's try and modify the layout of this page a little bit. We're going to pick up one of our layout components, the two column layout. We're going to drop it on the page. And then we're going to move fields around to basically put some fields on the left side and some fields on the right side. So this was quite easy. And the other thing you can do now is add another field. So for example, if we scroll up, there's this text area that we can drop over on the right side. And this, for example, allows us to create a new object or a new field in our objects actually. So we're going to create a description field, which is a new field in the organization object. So this not only changes the UI, it also changes the object that stores the data. If we run the page, we can now insert some description for the organization that we're looking at right now. Then we'll do a save and close, which will take us back into the page where we see the table of data. And then we can click on the other organization and go and add some description to this organization as well. So it's very easy, as you can see, to modify the layout and add an additional field to an existing object. Let's go back to the designer, and now we're going to show you how to add a detailed set of information to this organization. So to do that, we're going to pick up another table component, and we're going to drop it on the same page. This automatically indicates to Application Builder Cloud Service that this is a detail object. We're going to create a new business object. We're going to call this one the donation object, and this is going to track the donations that we're doing to an organization. So we're going to add a few fields just like we did before. We're going to add a who field, basically who donated. Then we're going to add the field that says how much they donated. Again, we might want to have this field be a currency field. And then we'll add one more field, which is when did they actually do the donation. This can be a date field, for example. Okay, so we added those into the object, and then we're going to again allow us to click on the who to edit the donation information. And then we're just going to click finish, and let's run our page. So initially again we get some mockup data for this organization. We can go and create a new donation. We put in some data in here. For example, we can say that David donated a certain amount, and we can indicate when simply by picking a date from our little calendar component. And now we can see that this information is associated with this organization. We're going to create one more donation. This one is from Jane. Again, putting in some information in here. You don't have to fill out all the fields, by the way. And now you have master detail, basically relationship with two columns. If we go to the other organization, again, this one doesn't have donations yet, so let's create a couple of donations here as well. And as you can see, we didn't need to do much in order to define this relationship. Simply dropping the table on the detail page for a specific object creates this relationship between a parent object and a child object. Okay, so we just added a few donations to each of the organizations, and we're able to track them, edit them, and create new donations. So this was part 2 of the tutorial. You learned how to set the layout, and you learned how to add a parent-child relationship to your application. So we can go back into the designer mode to continue working in part 3 of the tutorial.